Next, I have analyzed Dr. K.N. Rao. He's a very famous astrologer, and to be an astrologer of his cadre, your spirituality has to be really high. So, I hope I can do some justice here. I found many D20, and this D20 made the most sense to me, and for one of the reason that Jupiter is in very good strength here, very good position, and is aspecting Ketu, and is also aspecting Sun, and is in Leo sign. Sun is in Sagittarius sign, and this is like a parivartan exchange between the two. The fifth lord is in the Lagna. So I did the same exercise for this chart also. I identified the DT, the D20 Shakti, and the DT for each planet. Doing the same exercise, I identified the strongest planet in D20, fifth lord of D20, fifth lord of birth chart, and the ninth lord from Karakamsa Lagna. And I found that Moon is exalted in the 12th house, unassociated, but the Lagna lord is also exalted in the 4th house, which is Mercury, right? So again, write me a comment, tell me which one you think is stronger, but I came to the conclusion that Mercury is the strongest planet in his D20. The fifth lord of D20 is Venus. It's in friendly sign, but I would not say stronger than Mercury. And the ninth lord from Karakamsa Lagna is Mars, which is in Leo, present with Jupiter, uh, but again not particularly strong. So, for all reasons, I am taking Mercury to be the strongest planet. Identifying his lineage, we all know that his ascendant is in Vishakha Nakshatra, and Krishna devotees are linked to Vishakha Nakshatra, and it is known that Dr. K.N. Rao is, a Krishna devotee. Also, he has exalted Mercury, he has a Gemini Lagna, and he has a particularly strong third house in D20. So, I hypothesize that his lineage is Ganpate lineage. Mercury itself is attached to Vishnu, and we know that K.N. Rao sir has always advocated listening to Vishnu Sahasranam every day. So that all makes sense. If we look at again the first, fifth, and ninth house of our example 2, and we can do the same thing like we did with the first example, and write down the different nodes where the planets are. We see again the same thing, that the fifth lord, Libra, Venus is the lord, fifth lord has moved to the first house, and Venus is in mercurial sign, so it's in a friendly sign. This is good. The Lagna Lord Mercury has moved to its exaltation sign of Virgo in Kendra to the Lagna. This is good. There is no direct aspect of Mercury on the Lagna, but it is in Kendra, which is very good. Again, we see that here Saturn's aspect is becoming very important, because Saturn is aspecting the Lagna and Saturn is aspecting Mercury. Mercury is not aspecting Saturn, but they are in Kendra to each other. So Saturn has become a very important planet. Saturn is in Jupiterial sign with Sun. So Sun is in Sagittarius here, so it is strong. And if you look carefully, this sun is in parivartan or exchange with the Jupiter in Leo. So this is very spiritual soul right here. And Mars is also present in Leo, so in a friendly sign. And this axis has become very important to Rausar, right? You also see that Jupiter is aspecting Ketu. So Ketu is in check here. This is also very good. If you look carefully, Moon is also exalted in the inner ashram. So we know this already from his talks that he was a Krishna devotee. And if you look carefully in his chart, Moon is exalted, Mercury is exalted. They are sort of pointing towards Krishna devotee. And if you remember, ascendant is in Vishakha, which also means Krishna devotee. So this is very good combinations for spiritual journey. We have also identified these Kuldev, Dharamdev, Gramdev. Unfortunately, I cannot confirm all of them, but we can confirm that he was a Krishna devotee, and we can confirm from his videos only that he was a great advocate for Vishnu Sahasranam, so he must be a devotee of Vishnu also. Uh, we look at the different relationships, we can see that the fifth lord, ninth lord, and fifth lord of D1, D9, and D20 are, in good position, aspecting each other. There are a few attachments. For example, the fifth lord is attached to the third, eighth, and ninth signification. Ideally, best scenario is when they are not attached to any significations, or they are attached to significations of 159 only. So these are some things that must have been a concern for him. If he was able to align his karma, perhaps he was able to take care of them. Other important aspect is again this, that Saturn is aspecting the Lagna and the Lagna Lord, and this gives renunciation. Renunciation again meaning that domestic, renunciation. So the deity that we come to, because the strongest planet is Mercury, and this Mercury is actually very strong, being exalted in D1, D20. And another planet, another attachment we can see is good position of Moon throughout D1 and D20 and D9 also. We come to the conclusion that Vishnu is the deity that he should worship. He is worshipping, and the Shakti that he should also attach is Varahi, which is a Shakti of Varaha avatar of Vishnu. So that makes sense, right? That Vishnu Bhakti is in his chart and in his life. How he can do it? Because the fifth lord of Mantra Siddhi is sitting in Lagna. So again through mantras, because he will be able to actualize this Shakti.